learn, I will cover on estate planning. I will complete the last puzzle for wealth management. Okay, a bit about myself. Basically, I'm a financial advisor for the last 24 years, first job. Okay, and what happened is that my focus is on estate planning, full 100% estate planning. And in the last 10 years, I actually been going around traveling regionally to talk about anything relating to estate planning and also training. So I travel regionally to train people in the financial industry, the private bank industry, and also I actually travel regionally to speak on the private banks platform, insurance industry platform, and financial planning platform to talk about anything relating just solely on estate planning. So my focus is on estate planning. That's the reason why I'm in one part of the team and the last puzzle. All right. Okay, let's continue. Okay, misconception of wealth preservation. For most of us, actually what we always focus on is wealth accumulation. And most of us totally ignore or have very, very little knowledge on wealth preservation. In an ideal world, okay, in an ideal world, a lot of things that we have accumulated or built, all right, what we always think is that it automatically will go to our family members. Okay, automatically will go to our family members when we are no more around. The truth is actually not, and I'll share with you all further. Okay, when we are alive, whatever we've built, less of our liability is what we call our net worth. Okay, and one day we will go for a permanent holiday. All right, all of us one day will go there. All of us one day will definitely be there. All right, what we leave behind for our family members are actually the estate. For most of us, we always think that our net worth will be equal to our estate when we are no more around. But the truth is, it will never be. There always be common mistake that people make, and also leakages in a lot of things that we own. And I'm going to share with you all during this program what it is all about. Okay, in this program, I will share with you all two aspects of estate planning. One is the legal side of it, and the second part is the financial side of it. In the program, I will share about the three pillars of wealth preservation planning. The most common one most people will know about is actually a will. A will is just basically a distribution tools to distribute our wealth with our estate when we are no more around. But a lot of people thought that once we have our will, is actually we have done our estate planning. The truth is not. And I will share with you the common mistake people will make later on, all right, and during the program. Two, I'll share with you how to nominate wisely. The word is wisely. How to nominate wisely using your CPF and also maybe your insurance policy. How do you nominate wisely to your next generation? Lastly, LPA. When someone is mentally unsound, how do you continue to preserve your wealth, or how do you continue to stay invested? All right. So LPA, and I'll share with you how to register your LPA with the OPG. Okay. Let me share some example of property matters and common mistake people make in their wills relating to their properties. Okay, this is an example of someone who owns a property solely. Okay, he owns the property solely, and what happened is that in his will he wrote down there, when he's no more around, 50% goes to his spouse, which is very common. 50%, he wants to be fair. And then the remaining shares goes to half to the son, half to the daughter. So 25% to the son, 25% to the daughter. This is very common in all the wills, 50% to wife, 50% equally among the children. And you want to prove that they are very, very fair to their loved ones. But the thing is, a lot of people are not aware of, and this is the things that people are not aware of. And let me share with you all. All right, first scenario. Let me share with you first scenario. Let's look at the son. Okay, now after the father left behind a property, he owns 25%. Now, the moment he gets married, if he have intention to get married and wants to purchase a HDB, because he's a property owner, all right, if he wants to purchase a HDB with his new wife, all right, the problem is he do not qualify anymore. He do not qualify anymore to purchase HDB because he's a private property owner. So he and the wife will probably be very angry with the father for willing this gift to them. All right. Or if two of them do not qualify to actually purchase an HDB, the next option will probably be he and the wife were to look to buy a private condo. Now, because he's really a private property owner, even though 25%, even just 1%, the next property that he was going to purchase will be considered his second property. So what happens is, in Singapore context, there will be additional buyer stamp duty when you acquire your second property. So minimum, it will be about 15% plus stamp duty. So all in all, about 15 plus. So let's assume they were to purchase a $1 million property, $1 million condo. Not easy to find today, but let's say $1 million condo. Just the tax alone, the additional buyer stamp duty is 15%, is 150,000. My friend, is 150,000. All right, they may not have the money to pay this tax, or they may not even want to pay the government the additional buyer stamp duty. This time round, they will be very angry now. All right, don't qualify to purchase HDB. Now they have to pay stamp duty to the government. They will probably be more angry now. All right. So what happened is they may even stop thinking of buying any private property. Then now what the son can do is another option. Typically, the son will do is think of the mom. So what they do is offer his share to the mom, the 25% shares to the mom, and ask the mother to buy over. Now, if you are the mom, will you be angry? Because the son inherit the shares for free, and now the son wants to sell to the mom. So the mom will also be angry. Now another person getting angry over this distribution. Okay, so the mom will be angry the son to sell his shares to her, sorry. And she'll probably say, what kind of son are you? You inherit for free and now you're trying to sell it to me. Now, let's assume this mother is a very nice mother, is willing to buy over. The next question will be, do she has the mean to buy over, right? If let's say she don't have the cash to buy over the 25%, then the next thing she needs to do is to borrow from the bank. Now, to buy from the bank, the question is, if she's a housewife, she will not qualify. If she's too old, she will not qualify. So she may not even qualify to borrow from the bank to buy her shares. Now, if the mom come by, then the last option, or probably one of the options, was to sell to the sister now. So he will go to the sister and say, why not I sell it to you? Now, the question is, the sister, if she's young, do she has the money to buy over? All right. If she can't afford, then I think the only option now is you tell the whole family to let's sell the property together. Let's all of us sell this property away. So if let's say, imagine they say, okay, they are fine. They want to help their brother. For the mother, they want to help the son. They want to sell it. Sorry. They want to sell it today. Today, they want to sell it. Or, okay, today you want to sell a property, doesn't mean today you can sell it. That property takes a bit of time to dispose of, to sell off. Now, if today, this situation like COVID, do you think it's easy to actually look for a buyer? People will actually press your price. All right? People will negotiate and bargain with you. You may not be able to fetch a good price today in today's situation. All right? So what happened is that whatever you leave behind, your estate will depreciate because of the situation. So a lot of people, these are mistakes that commonly a lot of people make in their will. So these are the areas that we want to cover. All right? How to prevent this kind of situation. Part 2 will be another one, that's what I call leakages again. This part is about loans, especially when we when we purchase property, we always leverage, we always borrow from the bank. But the question is, these are not free money. If something happened to us, if the bank wants to call back the loan, they have all the rights. In this situation, man declared bankrupt after his death. This guy was a very successful business owner. But because he borrowed from the bank to run his project, his construction, he was in the construction business, so he borrowed from the bank, all right, to finance his business. Now, he passed away at the wrong time. He passed away at the wrong time. Like what I always say, nobody passed away in the right time, always at the wrong time. And imagine if he were to pass away today. All right, imagine if he were to pass away today. right? What happened is that his estate, what he left behind, was unable to pay back the loan. So what the bank did was the bank declared him bankrupt. Okay, the bank declared him bankrupt. The bank declared him, sorry, the bank declared him a bankrupt after his death. When he was alive, he was a rich man. After his death, the bank went to bankrupt his estate. That means the estate was left with nothing for the family, zero in this case. So what happened is that, take note, if we borrow, we need to protect our estate, right? So this is a classic example of one where leakages. Okay, what about stock investment? There are some mistakes that people make in their investment, all right? And let me just share with you in their wheel. One example of this case, okay? Missing the 3 million, the case of the missing 3 million. This was a case in Singapore in 2001, right? If you recall 2001, what happened was that there was this tech boom, right? All right, .com boom, okay? And what happened is that there was this gentleman who actually invested in very, very good US tech stocks, all right? And at his peak, the stocks that he's holding was worth US $3 million, US $3 million. But what happened is that upon his death, most people do not know that in US, you are subjected to estate tax. So if you invest in US stocks, you may be subjected to US estate tax. All right. And upon his death, all right, upon his death, the estate duty was assessed to be at US 1.3 million. So it was worth 3 million. His estate tax after he passed away was worth about 1.3 million. Estimated roughly about in US, about 30% to 40%. Okay, US estate tax. So it's not low, it's high, 30 to 40%. What happened is when a person passes away in US, especially you want to settle the estate, so that what we call a grant of probate, you need to go to court, you need to apply for grant of probate. So it'll take some time. All right. Same thing again. What happened during that time? The .com crash. All right, the .com crash before they can settle and pay the tax. All right. When the tech bubble burst, the value of the stocks was less than even 1.3 million. It was only left with a few 100,000. So this is another case where when a person was alive, he investing in US stocks, he may think that he owns a lot of stocks, he's very, very rich. But when he was no more around, his estate has to bear the brunt of the US estate tax. So these are mistakes that people make. Do not consider how to structure their investment, how to plan for their estate. Okay, so these are issues that people do not look into. So you may be very rich, you may have owned a lot of properties, you may own a lot of stocks, but what happens is if you do not plan properly, your estate will shrink because of all these issues that I have just shared with you all earlier. Okay, so understanding your estate planning objective and knowing strategy, how you can strategize your estate plans, all right? There will be a shift in the way you want to, there will be a shift in your investment objective, how you want to manage your investment, how do you want, if you were investing in real estate, how do you want to strategize going forward? So there will be a change in investment objective, like what Emin shared earlier. As we age, the way we do certain things will change. Same thing, once you understand estate planning, the way how you invest may change. I understand, not guaranteed, but may change. And most likely, I think will change. All right, most likely will change. And lastly, in the program, I will share with you how to create strategy to preserve your wealth for your next generation. All right, so you will want to uplift your next generation. All right, to let your next generation be richer instead of poorer. And if you really look at the amount of money printing now in this world, all right, there will be I believe in the next 5 years there will be inflation will be very, very scary. All right, inflation will be very, very scary. All right, so you need to create strategy to help your family to preserve their wealth and uplift them. All right,